everybody. It's a brand new day. All right, we got a happy story today. So it says, after 529 days alone in the Australian bush, Valerie, the mini dachshund, is home. That's good news. This is from NPR. Kat Lonsdorf, apparently. All right, Valerie, the mini dash. Yep, there it is. Well, there she is, rather. Okay. Bundled in a blanket on a plush couch, Valerie doesn't quite look like a dog who recently survived more than 17 months in the Australian wilderness. Man, she sure doesn't. I don't think I could survive like 17 hours in the Australian wilderness. Golly, man. She's nestled between her two owners, 24-year-old Georgia Gardner and 25-year-old Josh Fishlock. Fishlock? Licking the couple's faces every so often as they talk over Zoom. Wait. Oh, with the reporter, I suppose. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I'm reading this in like read mode, so all the ads don't pop up everywhere. I guess that's what it is. They're talking to this reporter on Zoom. She's the queen of the house, Gardner says, smiling. It's her house, and we just live in it a bit. True. I felt that way with a cat. I can't imagine with a dog. I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but man, it is their house. But for 529 days, Valerie, a roughly 10-pound mini dachshund with short little legs and a long black-brown body, was missing from that house. During the November 2023 camping trip to Kangaroo Island, a remote island in southern Australia, she ran away from the campsite. Bro, if you're going camping in southern Australia, man, dude, there she is again, Valerie, before she went missing, okay. Let's see. Valerie was microchipped. That's great. And also had an air tag on her collar. Yeah, we have that with our cat too, a microchip, and we have an air tag on her or on him. But the island is sparsely populated, largely used for farming and livestock, and the tag needed Apple Bluetooth devices to track her down. That's true, because our cat not ran away, but got loose in the backyard, and I had to take an old iPad that would only work when it was plugged in, so I had to get this giant portable battery / jumper cable kit in the hot summertime and ride around the neighborhood lugging that thing around that was plugged into. Man, it was a long story, but yeah, they're right. It needs to have an Apple Bluetooth device nearby to track her. That's true. So the couple did what others do when their pets go missing. They posted about her disappearance on Facebook. Well, we didn't do that. Some left her old toys. Yeah. Lost mode. Yeah, I did do that. I put it on lost mode. That's for sure. Despite searching for days with members of the community, Gardner and Fishlock had to return home to mainland Australia, leaving the island without her. Golly. Fishlock says, leaving the island was probably the hardest decision I think I've ever made in my life. We went over there as 3, and we were coming back as 2. It was a horrible feeling. They tried to hold out hope that someone would find her, and they'd be back in a week or 2 to pick her up. But weeks turned into months, and there was still no word about Valerie. Wow, man. Gardner says the couple tried to cope with the fact that they lost their tiny dog on the island. Yeah. With predators and snakes and eagles. Yep. That's crazy, dude. They made up a story trying to convince themselves that she'd been picked up by an old lady on a farm. Okay. I mean, all right. And was now eating dog biscuits and sleeping on a warm bed. Let's see. She says, but we definitely had to be realistic. Yeah, true. You had to move on through that grief. Absolutely. Then one day this past February, more than a year after Valerie had gone missing, a farmer on Kangaroo Island snapped a photo of a tiny dog running through the fields. That photo eventually made it to Kangala Wildlife Rescue. Awesome. A local animal rescue on the island generally focused on more on wildlife than pets, who had been in contact with Valerie's owner, since she'd gone missing. Yeah, so she called them and let them know. Smart. Yeah. Gardner said at first they couldn't believe it. Well, sure. There's no way a 4-kilo dog could survive that long, she remembers thinking. But she says the photo was absolutely Valerie. Lisa Karen, who runs the wildlife rescue, and her husband Jared said that once the photo came through, they got to work trying to rescue Valerie during their off hours. Man, you can do that on work. Come on. It's not like there she is. Oh, well, we're on the clock. We're not. Oh, I hope she stays there. Nah, dude, go out and get it. It was no small feat. I mean, it's right there. And it's like a domesticated dog, right? Like, they thought it would only take a few days to catch her. They put out a dozen of what they called cat traps, a basic cage with a plate of food and a door that latches when the animal goes in. They kept catching nearly everything. Possums, feral cats, wallabies, except Valerie. Even a few kangaroos put their heads in there, she remembers. So along with the team of other volunteers, they began experimenting with different traps, working long nights. Yeah, eventually they rigged up a big pen with a roof, several wildlife cameras, and a remote-controlled door. I bet they got a bunch of funding for this. We probably paid for it. I bet the U.S. paid for it. Settling in the spot where Valerie had been seen last. Why didn't they go? I mean, did they not know that was her? I don't understand why they didn't just go out there and be like, oh, crap, that's the dog, especially if they knew beforehand. They replenished the trap daily with food like roast chicken and filled it with Valerie's toys, clothes. They carried the scent of her owners. Wow. After smaller traps failed to catch Valerie, volunteers, we already read that. Yeah, remote controlled door with the trap, setting it in a spot where a dog had been last seen. Yeah. Eventually, Valerie started to show up. Okay, grabbing food before daring back out again. Man, she has a new life. She's like, I'm free now. Golly. Finally, after nearly 2 months of trying to capture the little dog, everything lined up. Valerie entered the pen and relaxed a little bit. Then they hit the remote control door. Oh, man. Karen says, it was surreal walking down to that trap site from the car. You could hear her barking. Wow. She climbed into the pen along with her daughters, and eventually Valerie climbed into their laps and fell asleep. She says, our hearts just broke. We knew she never ever wanted to be a minute out there. Really? I mean, probably, right? She is a wild animal, or she's a dog. I mean, I bet she liked being out there, but as a person, you realize, holy crap, there's a lot of dangerous things out there that could get her. But being a dog and having all that open land to run around and smell things, I mean, that was probably pretty cool. I'm glad she's safe and back, though. No one knows exactly how Valerie survived so many days in the wild. She was ultimately found 30 miles from the campsite. Wow, they speculate that she was drinking water from farms, burrowing into dirt for shelter, and eating the carcasses of dead animals. Sure. After her capture, Valerie went to the vet and got a clean bill of health. Awesome, dude. She'd even gained some weight. She's got the physique of a little bodybuilder, she laughed. Oh, yeah. About a month has passed since her big adventure came to an end, and Valerie has been back home with Gardner and Fishlock for about 2 weeks. She says she settled back in, playing with her toys, cuddling in bed, and going on walks just like before she went missing. That's awesome, dude. Look at him. She's happy. She's been on an adventure. Cool. She's come back a little bit more independent. Awesome. She's still quite attached, but she's stronger and more on her own. Cool. Karen says people have asked her why she and her team put so much effort and time into finding one dog, but for her it was simple. If it was your dog, what would you want someone to do? Wouldn't you want someone to say, hey, let's do the best we can? We should all as humans just come together and make it right, or at least try. Sure. Gardner and Fishlock say they've been flooded with messages about Valerie. Many people saying their story gave them hope. Gardner says she hopes that's what people can take away from the saga. Yeah, sure. If a tiny little 4-kilo sausage dog can survive on Kangaroo Island in the Australian bush, then you can survive whatever it is you're going through. Well, isn't that a hopeful story for today? She's back. She was gone for 529 days. And, yeah, she made it out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Catch y'all next time.